All right, this morning we're getting ready to make, what are we making? Spaghetti sauce?
Spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti sauce. So we got the cooker. It's a 18-quart roaster. And of course you got the funnel and your scooper and the bottles. And these are the ingredients that my wife uses. Tomato paste, green peppers, jalapenos, onions, garlic, sugar, salt, oregano, basil, and olive oil.
And then, of course, the tomatoes.
And then the tomatoes. This is 25 pound of tomatoes. We're doing 45 pound
45
for
50.
1 quart, for 118 quart. We're doing 45 pound for 118 quart. So she's got her measure that she measures everything else. We can get 45 pound exactly. And we got her pan that she's going to cut. She'll core them, cut them, and put them in the pan. And then I will run them through our Hamilton Beach juicer. And then we have our towels over here that we're going to use for cool down after canning. We'll wrap them. Then you've got the canner and the pot that we're using for the lids and this, tops.
The rings.
Rings.
Takes 5 hours.
So we've got everything in, what, 5 hours? So once we start doing all this and cooking it down, it'll be 5 hours before we actually start canning. So a little look. Oh yeah, we've got the little grabber here for our cans, or for our bottles. So one more look at everything that we're going to be using. And the ingredients, you basically make it to your own. Not really a set, well, she's got a set thing that she uses, but everybody's got their own preference, everybody's got their own taste. And yes, these are frozen onions. I didn't do onions in the garden, so we're using frozen onions, which is just as good. Oh, no, I forgot sugar. Yep, there's sugar back here too. All right, so we're going to get ready to get started, and we're going to start juicing. Okay, so we're making a double batch. So she put in 6 bags of the onions, 10-ounce bags of the onions, and 2 bags of bell peppers. So like I said, you make this the way you want it. And now this is a double batch, and she's going to put in the bag of hot peppers
And fresh garlic.
and fresh garlic. So, and then this will all cook with the tomato juice for about 3 hours before she puts anything else in the cooker. All right, and we'll be back. Okay, so she's going to use 3 cloves of garlic, which is going to go with the sauce and the onions, bell peppers and green peppers for the cooking to start off with. She's got a little, I call it a garlic smasher, whatever you want to call it, a little garlic tool that she can smash up the cloves, and she'll smash that up and add that in with the rest of the mixture. Okay, so my wife's cutting up the tomatoes. Get you a little. She's coring them. Whoop! Camera flipped around. She's coring them. Then I am going to start running the juicer, but I'm just going to show you this real quick on how easy this juicer runs, how nice it is. Kind of loud, so you ain't gonna be able to hear anything, but
Not whenever you.
well, it's as easy as that right there. So if you guys are going to be doing this a lot, I would advise getting one of these. They're well worth the money. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I got a bowl completely done with tomatoes in it. So we've got all the pulp over here. All I got to do is take that out, just clean that out. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to dump it right into our pot over there. And I usually go by this little ring back here that you can see. And it usually takes about 4 of those, but I think we're going to go a little bit less because this stuff does bulk up a little bit when you start cooking it with everything in it, the tomato paste and everything else. So this is what we got so far, and we're going to keep going. All right, so this is our second bowl. Almost got 2 full bowls out of 25-pound of tomatoes, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on how many we're actually doing. But just in case I hadn't mentioned that, this is my dog. She's out here babysitting us. Just in case I hadn't mentioned, my wife's spaghetti sauce. Hell, we use it for everything. We use it for pizzas. We use it for spaghetti sauce. You could eat this shit on bread. It'd be good. Alright, we're going to keep on going. Alright, as you can see, made a hell of a mess. That's a good thing. So, we actually got 3 bowls in the pot. There for a few, we had done some juice, just some regular tomato juice, and we was actually getting 4 bowls. These tomatoes were extremely friggin' juicy. So we only got 3 bowls in there. Well, and plus we're going to have all the other ingredients, so we don't want to overfill it. So there we go. We got a full pot. We're going to start cooking. We'll let these cook for 3 hours, and then get ready to start adding everything else. And she's got it on about 425.
Cook 3 hours after it boils.
Oh, sorry. Cook 3 hours after it boils. Oh my God. All right, and there we have it. Okay, this is going to be kind of a twofer. We've got an abundance of tomatoes. We thought we was going to use all of them just tomato sauce, but that ain't going to happen. So what we're doing is we're going to do our tomato sauce while we're cooking it over here in the pot. We are going to do whole tomatoes. Or actually not whole tomatoes, we're going to do them like a whole tomato, and then we're going to cut them and put them in a jar. But anyway, so what we're doing here, we got our jars in hot water. We got them getting ready. We've got a sink. This is going to be for the cold water. This is where I'm going to bring the tomatoes at after I get done boiling. We're going to bring them over here, put them in here. The skin's going to peel right off. My wife's going to core them. She's going to cut them. Then we're going to go right from here, right into the jars. And then once we do that, we'll go into our cooker pot over here, or our water bath over here. And we've got it. We haven't got it turned on yet, but it'll go for the water bath. And I've got a pan for my lids back here, so I can heat my lids. Don't want to boil them. I just want to heat them. This pan right here is going to be for submerging my tomatoes. I'm going to put those in there. They're going to get nice and hot. Skin's going to start peeling off, and as soon as they do, I'm going to put them in this pan right here. And we're going to take them over to the sink, put them in the ice bath, and it's going to peel the skin off. Now I got a couple of things here. I got a set of tongs over here that I use to get my lids out with, and I got the scooper right here that I use to get the tomatoes out of the pan because I'm not reaching in with my hands. Over here we use a ½ teaspoon of salt in every jar that we do. So once we pack the tomatoes, we put a ½ teaspoon of salt in it, or actually we could do that prior to putting tomatoes in. And that way it's just in there for, it's not really seasoning, it's just for purification. Alright, so one thing I forgot to mention, one thing that we use around here is our UV gloves. These UV gloves are awesome. You can pick up hot things, you won't get burnt. I use them with my smoker all the time, handling these hot jars and stuff. They're great. One thing you don't want to do is if they get wet, they will burn you. So that's why I use these tongs. I get off as much water as I can. I set it down. I dampen them off with a rag, and then I just check the tightness before we end up putting them under the wrap. So we're going to do a little bit of double jeopardy here today, and seeing how we just really ain't got shit to do today, we're doing all kinds of tomatoes, and we still got to go out to the garden and pick. And we're not even close to being done yet. So my wife brought up more jars for the tomatoes. For the tomato sauce, we are going to be doing, which ones are being done? What size?
Those are ½ pints.
Pints, ½ pint. We are going to be doing ½ pints. We use this for pizza. That way we don't have to open a whole jar, and then we have our quart jars. So we're going to get started here in just a minute, and I will get the stand out so we can see exactly what we're doing. Okay, so we're getting ready to get started, and this is what we've got for a bowl full of tomatoes, and we haven't even been out to the garden yet. So we've still got a lot more to do. But anyway, this is what we've got to get started on canning tomatoes. We don't even know how many. I took a rough count. I'm looking at probably 7 to 8 jars. Want to make a bet?
7.
7? I'm going to go with 8. So, wow, well, you threw 2 of them away, so that's cheating. But anyway, anyway, we're getting ready to get started. We're going to get the tomatoes washed up. We're going to get them ready. We've got our ice bath started over here. We got our bottles over there. We're going to put them back down in hot water. Now I feel like that guy that we like to watch when he's singing that rap song.
Tom
Anyway,
McDonald.
yeah, Tom McDonald. Shout out to Tom McDonald. Awesome motherfucker. Anyway, so and then once we got everything started over here, and we're gonna get started, and I'll have everything set up so it's videotaping. All right. Trey. This is our dog. She's helping us cook today. Quit moving around so I can see you. Show everybody your face.
Charlie.
Looks like you got hit by a Mack truck.
Look at your dad.
Charlie. Goober butt. All right, so we're gonna get ready here in just a few minutes. Got the water boiling over here. This is what tomatoes are going in. Got my pan back here. That is warm. I don't have it boiling for my lids. It's just warm. Got the fire on the water bath, and it's getting there. It's not quite there yet. So we have our little scooper over here. It's 1 teaspoon, and we have our salt that we're going to be adding to each jar. Here's what Cindy's going to be putting the tomatoes into before we put them in the jars. She's going to be cutting them up there. This is our cold water. It's basically our ice bath. I already had ice in it. It's already melted. But this is our jars. And then we have our tomatoes, and I'm going to be transferring from here to over to where we're going to be doing the boiling. This is actually pretty cool. We've seen this. I've seen this. Some people do it on YouTube. It's pretty cool on doing this. And we talked to our mother-in-law about it, and she's like, it's really easy. So it is. You just drop the tomatoes in there, and the skin will start peeling off by itself. And then once it starts peeling, all you got to do is take them out, throw them in a cold bath, and when you throw them in a cold bath, that skin just comes right off of there. And then all you got to do is just take the core out of them and cut them, or if you want to put them whole, you can. We don't have largemouth bottles, so we're using smallmouth, so we are going to quarter ours. We quarter them, we pack them down into the jar as good as we can get them, as tight as we can get them, leaving that 1/2 inch head space at the top with some salt, and then put them babies in a water bath, and they're going to be good to go for some chili and tacos and whatever else we decide to eat with them. All right, we'll be right back, and we'll start boiling here in a minute, and we'll get started on showing you exactly what we're doing. Okay, holy shit, we forgot something. On the bottom of the tomato, you want to cut an X on the bottom of the tomato. That will actually help the skin peel off. We forgot. We was getting all excited about doing it because we've got so much to do today. We just got done smoking out a pork loin yesterday. It turned out fabulous. We're doing tomato sauce today. We're doing whole tomatoes today. We still got to pick the garden today. So we got a lot to get done today. But what else better to do on a Saturday when you don't have really anything better to do? All right, we'll be back here in just a few. Okay, we're back. I had to get a shot of this shirt. You gotta love it. Awesome shirt. Trump 2024. All right, we're gonna get started. Hope I didn't piss anybody off. If I did, oh well. So we're gonna put the tomatoes down in here. You want to use a type of spoon that I'm using. Unless you just want to drop them down in there, you can, but I prefer not to get burnt. I have very delicate skin. No, just kidding. But anyway, you want you want to put these down in there. I try to get as many as I can in there and see if I got this right. Yes, I did. All right, so we got this down in there. We're gonna let these sit there, and in just a second, the skin will start peeling. It'll start coming right off. You can see the bubbles coming up. That's actually pretty cool. But it'll take just a few minutes. And hopefully I'm not boring anybody during this.
You can turn that back up. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
ready.
which one did?
That one.
I didn't want it turned down.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, because that's going to slow down the peeling process. Okay, so you can see a couple of them right there is already starting to peel. So we're going to let them sit in there just a minute. I'm going to smoosh them around just a little. I want to make sure they're going to really peel really easy. That way when I give them to her, I'm not getting told that I'm not letting them stay in there long enough. Because these will peel really easy. The last batch we did was amazing.
Yeah, it won't take no longer than 5 minutes or less.
Well, don't turn the heat down. It'll take less. Don't.
Well, I didn't know the pan was ready.
She comes over and starts touching my
No.
Stove.
No.
But when we take them from here, we put them in the ice bath, or the cold water, sorry. It was an ice bath, now it's just cold water. We put them in the cold water, and then once we do that, she'll actually peel the skin, she'll core it, and then she'll actually go ahead and cut it, because like I said, we're using smallmouth jars. That's all we've got right now, so that's what we're going to use. If you have largemouth jars, I've seen a lot of people can the whole thing, which eventually I would like to do, but we're just going to do we're going to quarter and do it in the smallmouth jars, and that's going to turn out, like I said, just great for like chili and tacos
And you can hold ones in smallmouth jars. He just doesn't like to.
no,
Just put that out there.
I'd rather have the wide mouth to do it. See how easy that's pulling off there? Skin's already peeling right off of that one. Skin's peeling off of all these. So we just take these out. We're going to take them over in the cold water. We're going to stick them in the cold water, and I'll take the camera back, and Cindy's going to start peeling and coring. And then once we do that, I'll show her peeling and coring and quartering them, and then we're going to stop the video and we're going to finish up what we're doing before we get ready to start canning. So a couple times I actually just dropped these in the cold bath and splashed water all over the place, and I got in trouble. So we don't do that anymore. We'll scoop them down in there, put them in there with a ladle. Ooh, and I remembered what that was. Ain't that called a ladle?
Yeah. A wire spoon.
Wire spoon. Oh yeah, you had to change the name of it. All right, so I'm gonna set this down. I'm gonna video record her peeling a couple of these and just show you how easy these things peel. Look at that. That is just coming right off of there. And then what she's going to do is she's going to core it, and she'll end up cutting them and quartering them so we can get ready to put them in the jars. All right, so we'll be right back, and I'm gonna get some more tomatoes going so we don't have everything cooling down on us. All right, well, this is where we're at on our spaghetti sauce slash pizza sauce slash whatever sauce you want to use it for. Yeah, too bad you guys can't smell this. Oh my God, it's flat freaking delicious. My dog's going nuts. And then I'll show you over here what we got. We still got a couple more pots of the tomatoes that I'm doing right now. Letting those heat up, and then I got one more to put in there. Sin's got some in there that's peeling, and this is what we've got out so far out of the tomatoes that we've got where she's quartered them. And then we'll be getting ready to put these in jars, and she said 7, I said 8. So we're going to cheat and make sure it's 8. Bye. Be back. Okay, here we go. So we're taking the bottles out of the hot bath now, and we're going to set them over here to the side. I wouldn't take them all. I'll just take a couple out. I'm doing them a little bit at a time. Whatever. And then Cin's going to get ready to pack them. But first we're going to put the salt in, which is one thing I always forget to do. We actually had to take the lids off one time to do it, because I forgot. But she's going to put a teaspoon of salt in each jar. Half teaspoon of salt. See, I told you I always get yelled at. I don't know why. Probably because I don't pay attention. I'm like most husbands. Anyway, sorry guys if I got you in trouble. So, half teaspoon in each jar. And then we're going to get ready to start packing these. And when she starts packing them, I'll get the lids out. We'll get the lids pulled over there. And I'll get ready to wipe off the top of the jars. And we'll put the lids on, get them snugged up, and put them in the pot. So let me come around the other side so I can see what she's doing here and kind of follow. My son finally woke up. If any of you have young kids, you know, they usually wake up, sometime around after you're done doing all the work.
Give me my blue flat.
Up top. Kind of looks like a big butter knife.
Yeah.
There you go. So she's just going to pack the thick tomatoes in there. She's gonna use her little blue spoony thing to try to work out the air bubbles and stuff. And now remember, she's gonna pack these pretty tight because we had a bet going on. It was gonna be, I said 8 jars, she said 7, so you can pretty much bet she's not gonna make 8 jars. So she's gonna cheat the best she can to win, but that's all right. But anyway, yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to finish doing this. We're going to do this to all 7 jars. I ain't going to bore you with it. We're going to wipe off the lids to get any excess dirt, or not really dirt, but get any excess material, tomato material or anything off the top of the lid so we can put the top on it. We'll wipe them down. I'll get the canning lids out. We'll get them put on. I will snug them. Some people say 2 fingers. Some people say 3 fingers. I snug. I don't over tighten. I just snug them. And then we'll get them dropped down in the water bath. So we'll get this going as soon as we get the lids and everything on.
Okay.
Great.
Recording.
So we got this all set up now. Everything's in here. And a lot of people do this. Some people do 2 finger. I just kind of put my hand on there with my UGG gloves and snug them because everything can be a little warm. And then simply take them. Start putting them down in your water. Both of us lost the bet. We ended up with 6 jars, but the good thing about it was we ended up with what?
Oh, probably basically about 2 jars of juice.
We ended up with about 2 jars of juice, which we're going to be doing juice tomorrow, so that works out really good.
Just stick it in the refrigerator tonight and add
So
it
we got
to
it
it.
in there. We need to add some water.
Well, if he gets out of the way, there you have it.
UGG gloves. That pan was hot, just to let you know. So don't be a dumbass and grab a hot pan like I just did. UGG gloves. We're going to add some water. We're going to bring it right up to the bottom of the lid. Something like that. And then we're going to cover it. And we're going to let these go for 20 minutes. So these are going to boil for 20 minutes. And then once they're done boiling, then we'll take them out and wrap them with a towel. Bye-bye.
Good.
All right, it's been 15-20 minutes, whatever it is we set the time for. We're going to pull these out. I try to let these drain a little bit. Before we bought this little grabber thingy, we were actually trying to pull them out and use the UGG gloves to do it, and we'd burn the hell out of ourselves doing it. So these UGG gloves are great, you just can't get them wet. Like I said, I use them in my smoker all the time. I stick my hand in there, I grab hot meat with them, I grab hot racks with them. You don't even know you're grabbing anything hot. You just can't get them wet. But anyway, be careful, don't get burnt. Pull these out. Then I'm going to wipe the lids off just a little bit. Get some of the water off of them so I can grab a hold of them. I'm just going to kind of damp the lids off a little. You don't have to do this, but I do. Before I stack them, I just give it one final last little turn, just to make sure everything's sealed. Now I noticed on YouTube, some other ones I've watched, a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people are not covering their stuff like we do. Perfectly fine, however you want to do it. It takes a little bit longer for these to set up. It takes a little bit longer for them to cool. But this is just the way we do it. This is the way we've always done it. Some people just set them out on their counter, but we actually like to wrap ours. Try to keep that heat in there and try to get these to have a good seal on them. Not saying it's any better or any worse.
No, because you can, if it's too cold, it will crack these jars and they will break on you.
And I've seen a lot of people just put them out on their counter and just let them sit on their counter. And after they get done, which is, like I said, perfectly fine. Which is perfectly fine, but this is just the way we do it. So these will set, and we'll let these set until well in tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. They'll be cool enough to where they're just barely warm to the touch. And then we'll check them to make sure they got a seal, and then they'll go on the back porch with the rest of the stuff. And at the same time, we're still doing our spaghetti sauce. And this is what we've got cooking down right now. That is looking really good. All the foam's almost gone off, or gone from it. It's boiling. And we've got a few more hours, and then we'll start adding everything else in. Alright, see you soon. Okay. Cindy's going to start doing her mixing, so she's going to give you the recipe she uses for, now this is a double batch. So, you got to remember that. If you want to do a half batch, cut it in half. Alright, it's all her.
Hi. Yep, putting the sugar in and putting all the dry stuff in basically before I do the tomato paste. Hey, let's see. Sugar.
Was that a cup?
3/4 cup. Yeah, it's a double batch, so we have to do it twice.
Okay, so 2, 3, 4 quarter cups of sugar.
That's all good. I'll do the oregano, and that's 2 tablespoons, so it's going to be 4. And which I have a measuring thing that measures out 2 tablespoons, so I'll need 2 of them.
And it smells good.
Then we'll do my basil. It's the same.
How much is that?
2 tablespoons.
2
So
tablespoons
it's a double
basil.
batch. So you need 4. Olive oil calls for 2 cups per, and I'm only putting 3. I don't like a lot of olive oil in it. Just don't mix up right.
You got more?
Now I gotta go get my other jar. So we're back in a minute.
Okay, so while she's going to go get the jar, so Sid's telling you her recipe for putting all this stuff together. I'm kind of sitting here being lazy. I just had knee surgery on both knees this summer. Had total knee replacement, so I'm kind of sitting here with ice on my knee. But if you guys can smell this, it smells really good. And like I said, when she gets done with this, we use this stuff on, we use it on spaghetti, obviously. Now, our son likes his a certain way, so normally she would go ahead and add mushrooms and stuff like that, but she doesn't because he doesn't really like the mushrooms in it. So we always add that later when we cook ours and then cook his different. But there's all kinds of things you can add in after this to get it to the flavor you want. There's not a specific thing you got to do. It's not like a major rule or anything like that. So, but like I said, you can use this on spaghetti. You can use it on pizzas, which I love it on pizzas. I love adding extra sauce on pizzas, especially like frozen pizzas from the store. I love adding it on the extra sauce on the pizzas. All right, so she's getting ready to add some salt.
A cup of Cannon salt. That's for both batches.
kind of like watching your grandma cook when she said a dab of this and a dab of that.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it works. Make it the way you want it. I know some people throw a lot more garlic in stuff. We've done pickles. I was watching people do pickles and stuff, and they were throwing like whole cloves of pickles, like 5 or 6 cloves in one pickle jar. And I'm like, oh my God, I love garlic, but okay, anyway, we're back.
And your tomato paste depends on what size it is, what you have to use, and they only had 12 ounce, so it's a double batch, so I have to use 12 cans of this.
Okay, so
And that's it, and you stir it, and then it's got to cook for another 2 hours. We'll be back. Hey y'all, now it's getting mixed together. This is somewhat what it's got to look like. And you got to stir it at the beginning a lot to get it all mixed together. And now it's got to cook for another 2 hours after it comes back up to a boil. And you can make a mess, trust me. Alright, we'll be back.
Alright, we're getting ready to fill our half-pint jars that we use for pizza sauce. So I'll actually have the jars. So you'll do the pouring. We're doing 12 at a time. So we'll get these filled up and get ready to put these down in the water. Start water bathing them. You always want to make sure the whole time you're pouring, you keep this stirred up really good. You don't want everything to settle on you. So she'll actually be stirring as she's pouring. And me, all I gotta do is just hold the funnel and hold the jar. So that's a good thing about it.
Yeah. Here we go.
So we're bringing over 12 jars. We're gonna get 12 jars ready to go in the bath. We'll do the same thing that we did on the other one. We'll wipe the jar lids off, the mouth of the jars off, get them clean. Make sure there's nothing on them before we seal them. And voila, presto, we have tomato sauce, or spaghetti sauce.
And too bad it's not Halloween or we'd have a witch's brew.
We ended up with an abundance
Hocus pocus.
of what we got here. So we're gonna have plenty to do. Whoop,
Yeah, I can't see.
plenty to do. 24 jars
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
and plus some pints. A little bit more. Here.
Shit, we're at quarts and half
Yes,
pints.
we're gonna have quarts and half pints. So, whoa. So we're gonna do our half pints. Get all these done. And then we'll end up taking the rest of it and putting it in quart jars. This right here is what we use for pizza sauce. Put on pizzas. Good. And then we'll do the same thing as we did prior to. We'll put the lids on them, clean top of the jars, put the lids on them. And then once we have everything on there, then we'll put them down in the water bath, and these will set for another 15-20 minutes. And then we'll take these out. We'll do another 12 and repeat and repeat until we have all of it done. Good. So I'll give you a quick glance. We had
This
a full pot,
completely full.
and we have hardly used any at all.
I don't think we even put a quarter in it.
All right, so I'm gonna bring these back over, get them wiped off, get them sealed up. We're gonna put them in a water bath, and we're gonna call it good for a little while.
Yeah,
All right.
that ain't even, not even a quarter of this pan.
Yeah.
Those.
So we had a full pan, and we still have all that left. So we have plenty to do 12 more jars like this, and then we're going to do quarts after this. All right, be back. Okay, we just got done doing 12 half pints. This is the next 12 getting ready to go in, and we're going to be doing some quarts. Here's my first 12 half pints. We just took them out. I'm going to get them wrapped. They'll stay wrapped till we're ready to put the other ones underneath there, and then we'll wrap all of them together. And we're going to call this a wrap for doing tomatoes today. Whew. God bless the USA.
Amen.